Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. Marcus speaks. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode. Well, this will be a redo of last night of of what I was trying to do. Hopefully, I fixed everything. Hopefully, and let's hope that nothing happens in the meantime. So, hopefully, I might as well test it now. Let me see. Let me see if this works.
Yo, what's cracking?
All right. I just want to see if I can hear that and see. Hold on, I got a 6 second delay. All right, everything works. All right, so everybody, welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks Live, the very podcast that gives you uh trending topics and a whole lot of other stuff. Now, with that being said, people, please follow the scrolling ticker. Let me put that out there. So the scrolling ticker is for you. If you guys read that, I would appreciate it. Bring myself down on this desk a little bit. Um, yeah. So the scrolling ticker is for you. Once you see like an open space, it starts over. So read that over as I talk to you and have things pop up in the lower third. All right. Now, if you could please like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you are new here. If I haven't said it enough, hey, thank y'all for being here. Welcome. All right. Please don't be shy. Write something in the private chat because I would love for you guys to I would like to know what you guys want to talk about as we go on. If you could do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Please do that. Hit that like button. I'm sorry. Well, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. But not only that, go to the description box. When you see the Rumble link, hit that link. If you haven't already downloaded Rumble, please do yourself a favor and download Rumble. Everybody's on there. A lot of people are leaving YouTube before Rumble, so you might as well go ahead and download Rumble because it's the same thing happening over on Rumble that's going on over here on YouTube. Just a whole lot of other stuff is going on over there. So if you could hit that link, download the app if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to my channel. It's Marcus Speaks, all one word, but just hit the link. It'll send you right to my channel. So, Marcus Speaks and Marcus Speaks Play. So, if you haven't already been here before, let me reiterate what's been going on with my channel here. So, Marcus Speaks Play is on a hiatus. Reason being, there's no games that I want to play right now. Everything is coming out preferably sometime in the fall. So I'll pick back up playing games here on the stream come fall. But if I can't seem to get my goddamn stream capture card working correctly the way that I want it to, then we may not have a game stream anymore. But shit happens. Let me bring my quality down a little bit. If you could give me, well, no, let me finish this and then I'll do that. All right. So with that being said, Marcus Speaks Live. This podcast simultaneously switch days each week. So if it's not on a Friday, check me out on Saturday. If I'm not here on Saturday, I'm probably already been here on Friday. So please do yourself a favor and hit that bell icon so you get all my notifications once I go live or when I post a video. If you want to be a part of the show tonight and talk about the topics that I present, you can. You can hit the link that is pinned in the live chat, or you can hit the call-in number, which is also pinned in the live chat, and you can call me, or you can hit the link and come on and talk about the topics that I will be talking about tonight. But if you do that, there are some rules you have to follow. Rule number one, you must be on camera at all times if you hit that link. If you hit the link, please be on camera once you hit the link. Once it sends you to the screen where it asks you, can we use your mic and camera, hit yes to both of them. But as soon as you come back here, mute yourself. And with that being said, if you don't want to be seen by the people, it's better if you call the number. But if you don't feel like calling the number and you don't want to be seen by the people, that is fine. But you still have to be here in the backstage on camera so I can see who I'm speaking with. All right. Now, um, let's see. Um, yeah. So if you want to be on camera, that's fine. If you don't, there's a question back here for both people who want to do whatever. You can either, um, I'm sorry. There's a question back here I would like for you to answer. Please answer that with your name in the answer. So do your name hyphen answer so I can better accommodate you from there. All right. And rule number three, sorry, rule number three is please silence all background noise. All right. If you can't get to a place or somewhere is not quiet in your house, go to a secluded space either inside or outside of your house. All right. So we can better communicate with each other. All right. So last thing that I have is please like this video, subscribe if you're new here, hit that bell icon to all, and share this to your respective social medias that you use, your friends, co-workers that you fuck with, and whoever else is walking down the street. Tell them about me. All right, tell them about this stream here. All right, so if you have ever seen my show, you will know that I like to play videos. All right, so before I do that, all videos and articles that I will be talking about tonight, well, all articles have been altered from its original form. But if you want to read the actual article, there is everything is accredited in the description box below. All right, I don't own any of the content that I'm about to present to you guys tonight, nor do I want to be hit with a plagiarism clause, or I'm not using fair use right. I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. So if you guys don't know what fair use is, well, this is exactly what fair use is.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you about fair use. It's the law. Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
All right, that is fair use, people. Now, let's stop that. Let's get the music back going. So before I put the music on, this is what I was trying to say last night before everything happened to me or whatever. So last night I tried to stream and it was a fucked up stream. Oh, I forgot I wanted to do something real fast. Please give me like a second. It's only going to take a second. All right, give me a second, please. Okay, so like I was saying, so last night what I was trying to say was when I went to I was trying to do something with my stream or whatever. Like was it that Sunday after I streamed last week. So I was trying to do something. I was trying to figure something out, and for some reason, with my OBS, I couldn't. For some reason, I couldn't take my camera off. So I did everything. All right. How about now? Can you guys hear me? Everything good now? Everything's good. Let me check. Things good now? All right, good. All right. I don't know what the hell's going on. But I might have to still do some things that I was trying to do last week. Okay, so what I was saying was what I was saying was I was trying to do something on my computer to better help my stream. So what happened was I had to do a factory reset on my computer. I didn't want to do it, but for some reason I felt as though that I had to do it. So I did it, lost some things. I had to remember everything that I put on here. I got everything back. Hopefully, I hope I did. And we're rocking out now. Everything should be fine. But what happened was I've been dealing with issues with my I've been dealing with issues when it comes to my camera freezing midstream. Like it would happen to me all the time. So I basically had to I unplugged it, did everything that I had to do, and then after that, it still kept happening. So I said, okay, factory reset. That's what I'm gonna have to do because there's no other way around this. Because for some reason, I don't know what the reason is. When I go and type something in on YouTube or into Google, exactly the way how I'm thinking it, for some reason, nobody has a video on the shit that I need answered. Like last night, I I was working on my stream, and because last night you guys couldn't hear the television sound that's here in the back from this nice green screen I got. You guys couldn't hear the television audio, so I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Because basically, I need the video to further explain what the hell I'm saying. So since I couldn't get the television sound going, I basically had to shut the stream down last night. So I got pissed. I was like, you know what? So with that, me being pissed, I made sure that um I worked everything out. So the audio thing's new. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. And I can't explain that, but I'm gonna have to do something about that as well. So um so with that being said, we should be good now. But I made sure everything got put together the same way it was supposed to, and now I'm here tonight. All right, I made sure that I came back so I can tell you guys about some of this stuff that's been going on in the world. All right, now we can play the music again. If you guys uh don't know, a rapper of ours that we know so well, Ice Cube, has been he said that he was talking about gatekeepers. So basically what he was talking about was he he said that he's not in the club. And he was basically saying that he wanted to do a a podcast tour to further, I guess, get the word out about his Big Three basketball league. Y'all see that little freeze there? Anyway, doesn't matter. Um, So he basically was saying that he's gonna go on this podcast tour so he can get the word out about Big Three, so everyone can tune in, because he was basically saying that summer sports is a bunch of bullshit. Like, what you got? You got NASCAR. You got what? Uh, excuse me. You got women's basketball, as if anybody watches that. But you know, I'm not here to judge. And what else do you have as far as summer sports? Every so often we'll get the Summer Olympics, but then what? So this is Ice Cube explaining his case of why he feels the way that he feels.
Yo, what's cracking?
All right, we not doing this again. We are not doing this again.
Know what it is? It's your homeboy Ice Cube.
Oh, you guys can hear it.
And some of you may not have realized
I can't hear it though.
That I'm not part of the club. And
hold on, because I need to hear this.
a lot of you listening to me right here, right now.
All right, 1 second again, because I really need to hear this, because there's certain parts that I. Okay. Did it again. Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear anything on my side now. This is getting. Anything? No, nothing. Okay, can you hear me? Is everything good? Can we hear? Yes, no, maybe so. because I ain't touching nothing else tonight. All right, cool, cool. Can I hear Ice Cube now?
You're not part of the
Okay,
club.
good. All right.
What I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of it. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about
I really don't know what's going on. I really don't. Okay, let's just continue before I get upset.
that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, "What? Who?" Come on, man, stop playing. So ever since, ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they've been fucking with me here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that. Um, you know, I've been working with, on the big three for a long time, and you know how they've been fucking with me with that. I done made it, you know, plain, simple, and clear what they've been doing. You know, the NBA been fucking with us. Now, a lot of people might say, like, well, but Cube, you want to work with the NBA? Really, I don't give a fuck about working with the NBA. What I want them to do when I say work with us is to stop working against us. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we know you're doing. Um, Mainstream media, you know,
Okay, so basically what he's saying, he's talking about the NBA because the NBA basically is on his ass basically um is on his ass about, because the big 3 not only have coaches from, previous NBA seasons such as like I think Dikembe Mutombo is a player. Allen Iverson I believe is a player too. And then you also have uh what's his name? Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. He's a coach. So basically what they're doing is it's like you're taking the product of which we created and you trying to make something else out of our product that we basically made for you. So they're not down with this whole situation because they feel as though that, hey man, like if you're gonna be doing this, we want our cut too. Like we want our money uh that has to deal with this big three because hey, like, you know what I'm saying? You watch I don't know why the hell my camera's doing it, but anyway, you wash our back, we'll wash yours. But at the same time, they're probably not promoting it is because it not only it it also, the WNBA, which is the NBA's product, it competes with them. And they're like, well, why would we help you out if we have a struggling league? We've had a struggling league for the past 20 years, or has it been 30 years? But anyway, we have a struggling league for the past 30 fucking years, 20 to 30 years that nobody wants to watch. And why would we help you out? Because honestly, if you look at it, people who talk about their favorite basketball player from then is in this league, as well as people that you might see in videos, like I guess like dunk creators and stuff like that. People who do like creative dunks or you know D League players and stuff like that. All of these guys get a chance at playing somewhat professional basketball. And for the NBA to basically scoff to scoff at Ice Cube, like, why the fuck will we help you? It's kind of, if you look at it, it's kind of messing them up if you look at it. Because, like for somebody to create a league from players from yesteryear, and some of those players are still good, they're still in shape too. Who wouldn't watch a game like that? Like I would sit there and watch that game. But, I don't know what's going on with this damn camera. Y'all about to see me in the raw. It's like hold up. Let me get this together. All right. Let me open this up because that could be an issue. Um, that's fine. That's fine. All right, everything's good. Sorry that I'm taking these dramatic pauses for no damn reason, but I like my streams being right. No glitches, no nothing. Like I like it to be crisp. But anyway, the NBA has to look at that for like they should look at that. Like they should bring Big Three because 3-on-3 basketball is an Olympic um 3-on-3 basketball is an Olympic event. Like you can see people play 3-on-3 basketball in the Olympics. So why not why not um make sure that someone who has the tenacity to bring a league to the people, and why not back it? You could become investors, you can make your money off of it, you could probably start an expansion process to where I don't know how many I don't know how many teams are in the Big Three right now, but you can expand the league for more teams. And not only that, I don't know what they play up to. Let's say that they play to 21. We can see various games in the Big Three while watching. Like basketball's on for what, 3 to 4 hours? Like the NBA, an NBA game stretches from 3 to 4 hours. How about we make Big Three like a boxing match? Like these teams, like the lower cards, these two teams, the upper card is these two teams, whatever. Like you can do it any way you want. Either play the 21 or the 29 or the 32 or to 40. Like either way, either way you look at it, you can make this product look good, but they don't see it that way. So you know.
They ain't fucking with us. And that's cool. We can do it ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We still on the rise without these motherfuckers. So we don't need them, you don't need them. You know? So what am I gonna do to deal with these motherfucking gatekeepers? Well, what I'm gonna do is go on a Fuck the Gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm gonna go talk to everybody, you know, and get a chance to get my message out to the people. Be able to let people hear from me, and you might agree, you might not, but the important thing is, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think, and some people may get pissed off because I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm not playing, and it's gonna be a crazy summer. It's gonna be fun. Appreciate y'all. Always support the Big Three. Hopefully, I'm doing stuff that you guys dig. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for people that's bored as fuck in the summer with summer sports and want something cool like the Big Three. So here we are. Appreciate you. Much love, much respect from your homeboy Ice Cube. Remember that.
All right. So that concludes that. Got through it. Thank God. But anyway, if you look at it, they are kind of, sort of, in a way, the NBA doing themselves an injustice because they could become shareholders. You gotta remember, when you're a shareholder, you own the product of which you buy the stock from. You're one of the highest, stock traders of that product. So why not become a stockholder, then basically lead them in a way as if you guys have the league yourself. Be like, hey, I would do this. During the summertime, people, let's have these let let's have these uh these games in like nice cities or overseas or something somewhere, or in Mexico, and like nice beautiful tropical places, because you can't do this in the NBA. So why not do it with with this Big Three? We'll probably have each game, let's say, uh 4 teams playing. It's not a lot of overhead with that. They're flying people out to these places. We'll find a nice court. We'll get some announcers and stuff like that. And there's no there's no money loss. What we can basically cut the overhead in half, if not a third, because it's three people to a team. There's 4 teams, not that many people. Is as much, if not a little over, of what a regular basketball team has on each roster. Each roster has what, like 9 to 15 people. So three times four is what? Three times four is what? I'm having a brain fart right now. Hold on. Put the answer in the chat if you know it already. It's 12 people that you sending off to, let's say, like a Barcelona or a Cabo or Jamaica, something like that. Like you're sending 12 people. That's as much as a regular basketball team has on its roster. So you're basically sending a team overseas. It's not as if they're getting paid that much. How much does a big three player get paid? What, like, let's say in all he's getting what's the word I'm looking for? That in Hollywood they pay people um I forgot the word, but basically, let's say they're getting paid all of like $3,500 a game. Not only will they be able to buy their own ticket, but if the team has enough money, they can just send the players themselves. And how many people's coming off the bench of a Big Three game? Is there any substitutes in Big Three? Like they could literally make make Big Three a big event in the summertime each summer for here on out if they just pay attention to it. But that's just my thoughts, all right? That's just what I feel though that they should do. But that's been the small banter portion of the show. It took a long time because of audio issues, but you get what you get, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to today's main topic of the night. So the overview is new Trump recordings uncovered. Hold on. New Trump recordings are there classified documents that were in the audio recording that was being shuffled around. Now, if you guys haven't been paying attention to this story, it's really a nothing burger to be honest. So recently, some audio tapes have came out of where Trump is speaking to a reporter about a war mm, that basically speaking about going to war with Iran. Now, I don't know why they feel as though that's a good idea. Us going to war after we just got out of war. And we're basically in a war that we don't have no business sticking our noses in the first fucking place over in Ukraine. So, sorry. So we're basically sticking our noses in a war that has nothing to do with us, but at the same time they want us to, with our tax dollars, support the war in Ukraine. But these here audio recordings are basically a bunch of bullshit. If you don't believe me, let's listen to what they talking about on ABC.
This morning, ABC News has obtained the audio recording of former President Trump appearing to show off secret documents he did not declassify.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Except it is like highly confidential, secret.
The conversation with aides and two people working on an autobiography of former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows took place in 2021 at Trump's New Jersey golf club. The contents of the recording have previously been reported and are quoted in the Justice Department's indictment related to Trump's handling of classified documents after leaving office, but the recording itself has never before been heard publicly. Trump is heard railing against his former Joint Chiefs Chairman, General Mark Milley, while shuffling papers, and he references a document about attacking Iran in which Trump says Milley compiled.
He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came out. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him.
The recording appears to undercut Trump's claim that he had declassified the documents before leaving office, and a staffer is heard acknowledging that there could be something wrong with Trump sharing the material.
These are the papers. This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll try to
Declassify.
figure out
See, as president, I could have declassified.
Yeah.
Now I can't, but this is
now
classified.
we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Trump has pleaded not guilty to 37 federal charges, including conspiracy and obstruction. Prosecutors accuse him of illegally keeping classified documents at his Mara-Lago resort. After news broke that prosecutors were in possession of the recording, Trump claimed to Fox News that he was not referring to an actual document.
I didn't have a document per se. There was nothing to declassify. These were newspaper stories, magazine stories, and articles.
Trump says he had personal items mixed in with the documents, which is why he says he did not comply with a subpoena to return them. Reacting to the audio recording last night, Trump's campaign said the audio tape provides context proving once again that President Trump did nothing wrong at all. The president is speaking rhetorically, but Trump's former lawyer called the release of the recording a problem for Trump's defense.
It bolsters the government's claim under the Espionage Act, and in this instance, in his own words, he's saying it's not declassified. So that's very troubling for him, no doubt about it.
And the first hearing in Trump's case is scheduled next month. The hearing is scheduled today for Walt Nauta, that's Trump's aide, who was also charged in this case.
All right. So that's basically what's going on. It's like I said, it's a nothing burger. This is why. It's a nothing burger because we don't know. We don't have any video evidence of what he was showing. For all we know, it could be newspaper clippings that he gets briefed on every morning. But you guys remember when Trump took office, he was like, hey man, I don't feel like going into these damn meetings every morning about some fuck shit that's going on in I don't know, Chizbakistan. It's not a real country, I don't think it is, but yeah, I don't give a damn what's going on in Chizbakistan. Like, why the fuck do I care? Like, my whole thing and reason why I became the president is so I can be the president of the American people. I want to address them with shit that's going on here. I don't give a fuck what's going on in other countries. So, you know, he got that whole document, classified document thing going on, that, you know, with the raid at Mar-a-Lago. And I covered that before. And last week I said the presidential, what I say? I said the presidential something act. That's not what that's called. Basically, I was talking about the documents that he declassified that was at Mar-a-Lago, and I called it the Presidential Authorities Act. That's not what that was called. It's called this. I forgot what the hell it's called. Let me look it up real fast. Is the act called when the president it is called, it says the PRA. What does it stand for? The Presidential Records Act. I said the Presidential Authorities Act. which I was wrong when I said it. I believe I said it more than once last week. So I apologize for that. But basically, what's going on is that he was, just like every president, they got to look through certain articles from around the world that have to do with anything of anything, because the intelligence agencies have to know this stuff. So since he's president, they have to then have that go through him and what he thinks and what they should do, and then stuff happens. But as far as we know, it could be just newspaper clippings that was shown to whomever he was speaking with. That that's for all we know. But let's see what's happening. So I get this article from ABC News. The real title is in the description box under the articles, and I had to jazz it up a little bit. So Trump weighs in on the recording of him showing off secret government info. So former President Donald Trump is continuing to insist there was no wrongdoing in his handling of sensitive government documents after he left the White House, and supporters continue to stand by him in the wake of an audio recording obtained by ABC News and other outlets where Trump acknowledges he held onto a secret military document post presidency and knew it wasn't declassified. Okay. Trump told ABC News' Rachel Scott on Tuesday that he has no regrets about how he handled classified documents after leaving the White House, calling his words bravado. No, I have no regrets. I didn't have a classified document. There was no classified documents. Uh, there were no classified documents on my desk. Trump told Scott. Trump told Scott, or Scott Trump, or whatever, who again claimed he hadn't heard the audio recording. Repeatedly said he was not showing off classified documents. I would say it's bravado, he said about his conversation in the recording. If you want to know the truth, it was bravado. I was talking about I was talking and just holding up papers and talking about it, but I have no documents. I didn't have any documents. Federal prosecutors allege otherwise with the 37 count indictment against him, claiming that he showed a record he knew was highly confidential to people who weren't authorized to see it. Wait a minute, let's see here. I just found. Isn't that amazing? Trump says at one point in the recording. This totally wins my case, except it is like a highly confidential secret. The secret. Hold on, this is secret information. Look at this. This was done by the military and given to me as president. I could have declassified, but now I can't, Trump told Fox News earlier on Tuesday. I just lost my Tuesday during a campaign stop in Concord, New Hampshire, that the rustling papers heard in the recording were newspaper articles, copies of magazines, copies of different plans, copies of stories. He told ABC News the copies of different plans he said were included in the pile of documents were plans for construction. So basically, what it was papers of construction for his Trump businesses. Now, who are we to say different? Because we don't know exactly what the hell was going on. Because it's just a recording. We don't know. We don't know any of this. We don't know exactly what's going on. when it comes to when who he had around him, who was there, and stuff like that. We don't know any of this information. So, with that being said, it's like they're trying to indict him on anything that they feel as though can stick. And literally, they've been throwing everything at the wall and nothing is sticking. Now, since there's a recording now, they're saying, oh, well, we can hear ruffling of papers in the background of him possibly showing people confidential information that they're not authorized to see. But it's like, okay, well, who makes that call? Because, I believe if that was a recording of him as president showing those papers, then who are you to say that he's not authorized to allow people to see confidential information? Because he is the hierarchy when it comes to anything if he was president, while if he did that during that time. So, you know, they're trying to make sure that something sticks because they're trying to get this man indicted. Presidential election comes up next year, so they're trying their hardest to get this man in jail so he can't compete and become president again, because from 2016 until 2020 he stifled the shadow government's plans to do whatever the fuck that they feel as though that they needed to do to us. So then what happened? Well, then we get a pandemic for 3 years. We just got let out of it this year. And now they're talking about climate change is now the new pandemic. I don't know where y'all live at, but here on the East Coast, I don't know if you guys remember seeing those Canadian wildfires that covered New York within hours and people had to stay inside. Well, that phenomena happened once more. I walked out of my house, what was it, Wednesday night? Or, yeah, Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon, really. And I'm as soon as I walk outside, I'm walking to my car, and I smell a burning smell, and I'm like, "Well, that's not good," because that's exactly what people said in New York that they smelled was something burning. Not only that, it was hazy as fuck outside. It was so hazy where you couldn't really see within the distance. So I'm at work Thursday night. I'm at lunch and it's hazy as fuck outside. I couldn't, like, usually on a nice bright sunny day, you see the leaves and moving and everything, but it was a haze in the distance. But not only that, like, I would say at least like a half a football field away from me, from where I was sitting, you could see the haze. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like, what are they going to say to us now? And then Friday, it cleared up a little bit, but it still was a little hazy yesterday. So, you know, I was like, what the fuck's going on? So, what's being planned that they don't want Trump in on the party? Like, as far as what I understand, Trump got us to a point from when he entered presidency in 2016. So from 2016 to 2019, not only did he help bring jobs back, there was hardly anybody unemployed in 2019. Gas was very cheap. Everyone was making money. Like, we get profit shares at my check. So basically, whatever profit that they make that I guess, can spill over into either R&D or something like that, that they can use, they they give the associates a profit share of that money. So it's not a lot. It's whatever what our hourly rate is, and then it's whatever. After that, I can't explain it anymore. So I got two profit shares in 2019. It was all because business was booming, but not just at my job, everywhere. Everywhere it was booming. Everywhere people were making money. Everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Cut to March of 2000, middle of March 2020, we get the pandemic, and then all hell breaks loose. It's to the point that the president that we have in slow mo Biden, everything's up now. Chicken's up, fruits up. We're not really getting the best quality of foods. And if you don't know, the USDA just approved lab grown meat. So we'll be seeing that on store shelves soon. But do you think President Trump, if he was president at this point in time, finishing up a presidential run, do you think any of this would have happened under his watch? Now, I know it may look like me saying all this stuff right now that I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not. But I can see the bullshit. I know exactly what happened during the time when Trump was in office. I was there. I'm a citizen. I watched the shit. Between between now compared to then, shit was booming. Shit was booming then. But, now it's like that shit never happened. Now, some people would say, the reason because of food and everything going up is because of inflation this, inflation that. If we didn't get the stimulus checks, um, if we didn't get the stimulus checks, then that that's part of the issue why the inflation's so high, inflation's and we're about to be in if we're not already in one a recession. Some people say, or some of the higher ups said, as of what last year, sometime we were in a recession before they changed what a recession was, the definition of a recession. Now, I will say this: it's a bunch of bullshit. But anyway, let's continue. Where did I leave off on this rant that I just had? All right. He could constantly attempt to drive home the point that he had a lot of papers on his desk, none of which were classified documents. He maintained my desk is loaded up with papers. I have papers from 25 different things. Look, what I have. You see, I have all different stuff in there. Trump said, showing ABC News different pieces of paper. He was even asked specifically what documents he was holding up as captured in the recording. Again, he claimed they were magazine articles. Some of those stories would have been on Iran because it's a very close subject, and because I think I could be the end. Hold on, it could be the end of the world. And I hold them up, and I said, you can't let stuff happen. But that was not documents, and it wasn't classified. He said. He sharply defended his innocence when asked if he was more likely to consider a plea deal now that the audio has been released. You know, this is Trump speaking. I don't even like that question because it's so ridiculous, he said. There's not even there's not even a thought of doing that because I did nothing wrong, he said. And the answer is no. I will tell you, we're going to win the case very easily. He mentioned this document or something, but was there a document actually there? I don't know where the tapes came from, but it proves or doesn't prove very little. It's just rhetoric and talk. Show me something else. I haven't heard the tape, but it doesn't affect me at all because presidents are allowed to take confidential files out of the box. Argued Doreen Desher, I guess that's how you say her name, Desher or Deschler, a state committee woman for the Massachusetts Republic GOP party. Prosecutors say the the audio tape, part of which are quoted in his federal indictment, undercuts his argument that he declassified all of the documents in his possession before leaving the White House, since he is heard on the recording acknowledging he could no longer declassify them. I got two of them, Trump said in his Tuesday speech. There could be others coming like that for a perfect phone call, Trump said, seemingly referring his 2000 I'm sorry, referring to his January 2nd, 2001 phone call with uh, Raffensperger, I guess that's how you say his name, during which the then president asked Raffensperger to find the exact number of votes he needed to win the state of Georgia. Numbers will keep going up, Trump told the crowd Tuesday. He has sought to project himself as the only candidate strong enough to fight off indictments while running for president. A sentiment shared by the supporters at his campaign office in Concord. In Concord, Deschler, a supporter since 2016, echoed the same talking points Trump made in his speech when asked what she makes of the charges against him. What these investigations are doing is they're it even making it even stronger for Trump because his poll numbers are going up, not down. Up because people are getting sick and tired of these two-tiered justice systems that we're going through right now in the country, she said. Now let's take that in perspective. By them doing this constantly, like they're not letting up. Like they got the what? That woman that just won the case against him that he had to pay $500,000 to. Then you got the documents thing. That's in I believe that's his case in DC. Then he had a case in New York about some sort of I forgot what that indictment's for. Then he got indicted in Florida just a little while ago. And now these recordings. And what have they all shown us? Nothing. This is why. They're showing us nothing for the simple fact is that they're fucking around and they're gonna make this man win the next presidency. Your goal is to not make him win. but you're making him more popular. His name's ringing bells again. Uh, what's the CNN now has a story to run that they can earn money again from because ever since Trump left office, they still try to slip his name into shit because they had no news, which shows that CNN wasn't the dominant news force that they thought that they were. They were just the other guys next to Fox News. Hell, MSNBC was doing more numbers than MSNBC was doing more numbers than CNN, but their numbers weren't as low, but they were right around the same area. But I will say this: I'm pretty sure Trump has some of his lawyers in the business overseeing this case. I'm pretty sure he'll be able. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to get off on all of this. All of it. Now let's continue. Krista Santiago, who moved to New Hampshire in 2015 from Puerto Rico, said outside Trump's campaign office that she'll always stand with him, but can see new voters being deterred by the legal challenges. Let's unpack that too, because I want to say something about DeSantis' punk ass. So, if you guys haven't been really watching, a lot of conservative Inc.'s main guy now that they want to see in office is DeSantis. Why DeSantis all of a sudden? Well, they like what they saw him do in Florida. Oh well, during lockdowns, he didn't lock down. Helped he helped his citizens. Sorry, he helped his citizens by not having them wear a mask, by allowing them to move about. But if not saying that that's a bad thing. Not saying that's a bad thing. But I am saying this: DeSantis is dry. Like, who wants a dry ass president like that? Like, at least with Trump, it's excitement. Like, there's something he's gonna say that's gonna have us go, "What the hell you mean by that?" Or it'll make us go, "Oh shit! Did you hear what he just said?" Like, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, that's basically, I don't know, like come on now. It's like, come on, DeSantis. Who the hell do you think you are?
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
You're really not. Like, did you see his campaign? Like him, uh, 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 announcing himself as president. It was dry as fuck. And y'all in Conservative Inc. wants DeSantis in because he hasn't caused a lot of drama. Like, they got turned off by the January 6th stuff, or Juneteenth, as the Hoteps like to say, during Juneteenth. But it's like, if you gonna let that one incident of which he said protest peacefully, let's march to the Capitol building and protest peacefully, but people want to twist his words by saying he said, "Oh well, nah, he meant that. He said that they should riot and shit." If you watch that speech, he didn't say none of that. He said he might have said we're going to storm down there, but he did say after that and peacefully protest what we know to be true. But they want to denigrate him for that. It's fine though, because they'll be hopping on his coattail pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. Now, let's finish this article up and then we'll be getting into random topics. All right, if you believe in him, you're gonna be a supporter no matter what. She said. It's just a new voters. It's just that the new voters, people that are exploring options, I can see that affecting it because they won't know what is the real truth. Andrew Dow, a former military officer who who was at Trump's campaign office, questioned whether the audio hold on the audio of Trump was legitimate and suggested prosecutors had gone way overboard in charging him compared to other former office holders who may have retained government records. He says, I think every president in a certain way violates that. Dow maintained. Now, let's talk about that. What was our current president um what was our current president accused of doing? Having secret documents that he wasn't supposed to have. He had these documents since he was vice president of the United States. Ain't that crazy, people? Ain't that crazy? For this man to have documents in his possession that he knows he can't have. Not only that, not only that, what about him sending his son over to the Ukraine as a shell company to Burisma by being a board member of Burisma and getting paid $50,000 a month? You don't think that Hunter, before he started smoking all the crack that he couldn't consume, you don't think that he will call? Shit just came out about that, about, was it a text message that was sent to a Chinese, I forgot, Chinese higher up, I believe. And the text said, if you don't, what, if you don't send the money, I'm gonna put the big guy on, or the big guy's here right now. Well, who's the big guy? Biden, Joe Biden. Now, Hunter's in his trouble and shit like that. He got his court case because this nigga wasn't paying his taxes. He was smoking crack, ordering hookers, doing all kinds of ill hood shit. like even even the white, and I live next to Delaware. I'm like right next door to Delaware. Like, I know some white people in Delaware who act hood as fuck, but I ain't never seen one who acted as hood as Hunter Biden has. This motherfucker was smoking crack of all drugs. Uh, He he could have been popping pills. He could have been doing anything other than something that even a street dude would say don't fuck with. But this nigga was fucking with it. Shit's crazy. And motherfuckers want Biden as the new as the as 2024 to 2028's president. Nobody wants to see that bullshit happen again. You see the bullshit we in right now? We don't want to see that shit again. We want this place to go back to what it used to look like back in 2009, and we want that shit to stretch. Already gave already, and I said this last year. Already gave the blueprint for the Republican Party. Should I say it again? It should be this: vote Trump back in, have his vice president be none other than um DeSantis, Ron DeSantis, and then let DeSantis run after that. All right, then we'll get DeSantis in, Let's get him in for 8 years. Let his uh let his vice president be um uh uh Rand Paul. Let Rand Paul be president or Ted Cruz, either or. And then from there, uh Rand Paul and and who else is a worthy contender? Um got Rand Paul. Who will be a good vice president for Rand Paul? Like, if we allow the vice presidents to run for president and to keep the Trump blueprint going for what, the next 20 some odd years, 15, 16 years, 16 to 20 years, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Because then, because some people on the right feel as though that Ron DeSantis is a Republican shill. He's only a front guy for him right now because they don't like Trump. Most of them don't like Trump, but they just feel as though that he is a shill. As we say in the hip hop community, this motherfucker is a plant. That's what we feel. That's what I feel as though Ron DeSantis is for this whole presidential election thing. He is a plant, and that's it. He's a plant for the establishment. Because not only have you seen America's darling Candace Owens go against Trump, but everybody who on camera who has any right-leaning person who has a podcast who backed Trump during his presidential years has gone against him. Their new guy who they want in office now is DeSantis. Why? Why do you want DeSantis so bad? What has DeSantis done during his run as governor in government? Remember, he's only been governor for the past 7 years. You remember who appointed him in, right? Or not appointed him in, who backed him. It was Trump who backed him. He was a nobody. Until Trump was like, nah, I like that guy right there. Y'all should vote for him. And what happened? People voted. He got in. I guess he did good down in Florida. He did better than what our governor at the time, Governor Larry Hogan, did in Maryland. Motherfucker. But I'm just saying. All right. But anyway, that concludes the main topic of today. But let's get into some random topics real fast. But first, let me change this horrible ass song. All right. So, what we have today with the random topics overview is FedNow is here and Titanic's submarine investigation. All right, people. So, if you don't know, I've talked about this in length on another podcast. Not another podcast, on another episode, on a earlier episode. I've talked about FedNow and what FedNow is. Well, everyone, right now, my clock is saying July 2nd, but it happened today. FedNow, of which you can probably go into your app store, download the app, and plug in, I guess, your bank accounts. FedNow's basically the new Cash App. You gotta remember when the Cash App CEO got stabbed in San Francisco, and then the next morning, if not a few hours later, because I believe the guy was stabbed at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and then later that day in the morning, we hear about FedNow and what FedNow does. Doesn't seem to me to be a coincidence, huh? Just saying. Anyway, let's get to this first topic, the FedNow. Um, let's see. Apocalypse FedNow, as told by, I got this article from Bitcoin Magazine. So, on the longest day of the year, Fed Chair Jerome Powell took to the podium to testify before Congress in the House of Financial Services Committee. This is exactly what this man had to say. So let me get it queued up.
It has a target.
Let me get it queued up. And let me bring it to your screen.
It has a target release date of for FedNow between May and July, which is right around the corner. Do you see any reason why cryptocurrencies would provide faster payments than the FedNow system? Would this offer, with the transparency of FedNow, would it offer distinct advantages over some of these stable coins that are touting faster payments?
What Fed do is it will enable all the banks, any bank in the United States, not just the big ones, to offer instantly available funds and real-time payments to their customers. That's a great thing. A CBDC. I think you're asking whether CBDC would serve some of that. CBDC is going to be years in the evaluation, and I think we can get this into the hands of the public very quickly. And we'll have real-time. Very soon.
Now, as you heard, Jerome Powell, I believe he is on the Federal Reserve Board, or he's the head of the Federal Reserve. He basically said, CBDCs are down the pipeline, which ain't true. But they do, cryptocurrencies do hold a good system for payments, fast payments, instant payments at that. So, let's talk about that real fast before we dive into this article. So cryptocurrency took a big hit, I believe, last week sometime. But certain people in the crypto community who are well versed in it, they basically see no big issue. They're like, well, the shit happens. It happens sometimes, so we should be fine. It's just gonna be to the point where it's basically looking at the same way it looked back when it dropped. So, but what happened was, I forgot who did it. But I believe it's in here. I believe it's in this article somewhere. But some company bought a big share of cryptocurrency. I don't want to say which one it was, Ethereum or Bitcoin, whatever. But they bought a bulk of cryptocurrency about a week or two ago, a week and a half ago maybe, and no one batted an eye at that, knowing that FedNow was coming. FedNow's here. I don't know if anybody knows that FedNow's here. All right, it's a way for the government to look at every transaction that you do between merchant or a private person. Anyway, so this article states last week the Powell Central Bank decided to temporarily pause rate hikes, the fastest and most aggressive interest rate increase in U.S. history, in their mission to battle the massive price inflation found downstream from lockdown induced monetary inflation via stimulus measures. Less than a few days ago, less than a few days away, or which is here now, from announced July launch of FedNow, an interbank communication platform. Pal finds himself at a crossroads of monetary policy regulation and capital requirements before the formal founder of the digital dollar system. Oh, it gets better, people. All right. So, another part of this article, which it is titled "The New Dollar: FedNow and USTs, not retail CBD." So, I have someone. Well, I don't have someone personally, but I have someone here, Crypto Wendy O. Shout out to the Hoteps. Let me give y'all a DJ horn. Where's my DJ horn? Shout out to the Hoteps for this. But Crypto Leo basically goes over or uncovers the scam of what FedNow is. Let's listen to what she has to say about it.
The CBDC is coming, and the Federal Reserve is lying to you. Here's what you need to know about FedNow, because they're telling us isn't what we're going to get. And please remember, any time they try to pass a law or a bill, they will say it's because of XYZ and slide a bunch of other things into that. And a pure example of this is with the TikTok ban, also known as the Restrict Act. It had nothing to do about banning TikTok, but more technology, i.e. cryptocurrency, NFTs, Bitcoins, and anything else that the government thinks that they can control. So on Twitter, the Federal Reserve posted a FedNow, and they're talking about FedNow. The question is FedNow replacing cash? Is a central bank digital currency? No. FedNow is related to a digital currency. FedNow is a payment service the Federal Reserve is making available for banks and credit unions to transfer funds. But don't we already sell? Don't we already have PayPal? Don't we have like Western Union, all of those types of things? Why does the Federal Reserve need to be in charge of this? Because the last time I checked, the Federal Reserve website, it says the Federal Reserve System is a central banking system of the United States. It was created December 23rd, 19.
I'm going to refresh this page. All right. I want you guys to hear all of what she's saying.
The CBDC is coming, and the Federal Reserve is lying to you. Here's what you need to know about FedNow, because what they're telling us isn't what we're going to get. And please remember, any time they try to pass a law or a bill, they will say it's because of XYZ, and then they'll slide a bunch of that. And
All right. I'm going to refresh another page. Hopefully that did it, because I want you guys to hear this information of what she's talking about, because it's very important. All right. One more thing I gotta do. Hold on. That's probably what's fucking with it. All right, Well, it's going. Hold on. Let me switch it. Oh, I can't do it right now. All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna go off camera just for a second, just so I can change something. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back like that. All right, cool. So, hopefully that worked, and there's no more interruptions. All right, here we go.
The CBDC is coming and the Federal Reserve is lying to you. Here's what you need to know about FedNow, because what they're telling us isn't what we're going to get. And please remember, anytime they try to pass a law or a bill, they will say it's because of XYZ, and then they'll slide a bunch of other things into that. And a pure example of this is with the TikTok ban, also known as the Restrict Act. It had nothing to do about banning TikTok, but more so technology, i.e. cryptocurrency, NFTs, Bitcoins, and anything else that the government thinks that they can control for. So on Twitter, the Federal Reserve posted a Fed FAQ, and they're talking about FedNow. The question, is FedNow replacing cash? Is a central bank digital currency? No. FedNow is not related to a digital currency. FedNow is a payment service the Federal Reserve is making available for banks and credit unions to transfer funds. But don't we already have Zelle? Don't we already have PayPal? Don't we have like Western Union, all of those types of things? Why does the Federal Reserve need to be in charge of this? Because the last time I checked, the Federal Reserve website, it says the Federal Reserve System is a central banking system of the United States. It was created December 23rd, 1913 with the enactment of Federal Reserve Act after a series of financial panics led to the desire for central control of the monetary system in order to alleviate financial crisis. FedNow, if it's a payment system, why is the Federal Reserve integrating it? Federal Reserve is supposed to be focused on financial crises, i.e., the banking failures that we saw recently. So why are they even talking about a payment processing system when we already have that in the United States? And again, in yesterday's video, we talked about Robert Kennedy, and he talked about his concerns regarding CBDC and FedNow. My personal opinion is that the Federal Reserve and the public servants, they're going to try to play this, that they care about us having access to our money, faster payments, etc. But really, when I take a step back and I analyze it, it is telling me that they are going to be using the FedNow to institute a CBDC, a central bank digital currency, okay? Also, too, what it is telling me is that they are going to remove cash. It's coming. Why wouldn't they? Why would they be creating the system when we already have systems in place? Doesn't make sense to me. 1 + 1 = 69. And on top of that, UBI. I totally understand that we're in a financial crisis in the United States. We've printed a bunch of money, etc. But is UBI a way to fix this? I don't know. I personally prefer for capitalism. I love lower level capitalism between small businesses. Corporate capitalism is a separate beast. And I don't think UBI is going to be a good thing for the United States. I really, really don't. That's neither here nor there. The point of this video is talking about FedNow and what it is going to actually do, in my personal opinion. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts below on what FedNow is actually doing, why they're integrating it, and do you guys think that it is for a CBDC? Because I personally do. Anyways, thank you for watching the Ocean. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and of course...
All right. Before we go... She said a lot. But I'm pretty sure that, within the, the crypto world, they have their systems in place. The Federal Reserve and the just the Federal Reserve, honestly, have certain systems in place that they have to follow in order for things of that nature on their end can be set in stone in a way. But I do believe what Wendy O said was that what's the reason for the FedNow system? Unless you are going to create some sort of central bank digital currency to where you could track Americans and their purchases. You gotta remember, one thing that they keep bringing up is climate change. Why do they keep bringing up climate change, right? One of the things that they usually talk about when they speak on climate change is, y'all ready for this? Is carbon. Carbon is up. It's like, what are they talking about? Well, they talk. Well, more likely it's Bill Gates that usually talks about carbon emissions. That's the reason why I brought up last the earlier within the show. I brought up lab grown meat because there is no carbon emission from the cow, well, from the chickens, because they're only doing chickens at this point. But there's no carbon emission from from farm animals, such as their farts, which is that produces methane, which that goes into the atmosphere, and then it whatever. So they're basically stating this all goes with climate change and stuff like that. Almost had a brain fart. Anyway, but this all has to do with climate change, and climate change being the next pandemic. Look, one day it's gonna be like 90 something degrees outside, and they're going to say, everyone, please lock down into your home because it is too hot for anyone to be outside. We gonna be looking at the news like, what? You know how many 90-degree days I've been outside? What the fuck are they talking about? Nah, I'm going outside, man. Fuck the bullshit, right? So basically, they're getting ready, as I just said earlier. They're getting ready to drop the CBDC, which I believe the rollout for that is within like 2 years or something like that. Either 2020, either next year, 2024, it's gonna roll out. If not in 2026, it's gonna be rolling out because they've been talking about this whole CBDC thing for, I think, since the pandemic. They've been talking about it. So it's like, you know, why is it that they want this to happen? Well, let's get into the article. The dollar has been digitized for a long time. Yes, it has. We've been using debit cards for what, the past 20 years now? So they're almost the last 20 years, I believe. Debit cards rolled out in what, either 2003, if not 2004, because I remember seeing I remember seeing a commercial for like if it wasn't Visa, it was MasterCard back then, where they were basically talking about, well, in the commercial, they were basically, flaunting around the debit card, like people were swiping, and they gave you, have your money everywhere you go, or whatever, blah 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 blah. We've been doing this whole digital currency thing since then. Well, I don't think people adopted it until maybe like 2 or 3 years later, once your job basically told you that, excuse me, when your job basically told you that we're not carrying paper checks anymore, so you're gonna have to go to HR and fill out the form to get your money direct deposited into your account. And then that's what started everything. Now, I have my bank accounts, but I like having cold hard cash in my hand. Just today, I paid every store I went to in cash, and I loved it. But anyway, so the dollar has been digitized for a long time, be it the Zelle or Venmo credits in your retail account or the dollar balance in your checking account at Bank of America. But generally, generally speaking, the mechanisms behind the transfer or the transfer treasuries and other reserve assets backing these numbers on a screen have remained at the technical agility of a fax machine. The dollar may be uh, the world reserve currency, not anymore, and can be transacted via intermediaries on obvious centralized banker rails, or less obviously on Ethereum rails via ERC20 tokens in the form of popular retail stablecoins. Now let's stop there too. Let's stop at the stablecoin thing, because Jerome Powell has spoke about stablecoins and how stablecoins, in a way, is affecting the American dollar. This is why, because stablecoins are basically dollars, but in digital form in the cryptocurrency market. So basically, I like Hotep Jesus when he says this every time. He always says this when it comes to shit like this. He always says, if there's a dime bag in the park being sold, they want in. Shout out to Hotep Jesus for that saying, because that's basically what it is. The Federal Reserve sees this new trend of stable coins, and they're like, you know what? Hold the fuck up. They're doing what with the money? Oh, nah, they're going to have to come up off that. They're going to have to come up off that, for the simple fact is that how the fuck we ain't getting, how are we not getting some sort of anything out of this? Nah, they're going to have to come up off that on the rail, because we need our money. So, Jerome Powell has spoke about stablecoins in length to Congress. So, maybe that is a part of the talk when it comes to CBDCs. Maybe they're conducting a study when it with the stablecoin market, to where they're analyzing how it works and how they can use it and how they can incorporate it to the CBDC once it rolls out. But you gotta remember, with this whole FedNow thing, yeah, you can get instant money at any time. It's basically, the Federal Reserve's it's basically the Federal Reserve's Cash App. That's basically all it is. So, let's get back to the article. So this also says, ECR20 tokens in the form of popular retail stable coins, but the U.S. Treasuries held by these novel credit creators remain the world reserve asset. These bonds are strictly issued by the U.S. Treasury to be sold to the private sector to create dollars, incentivized with yields dependent on the federal funding rate set by the Federal Reserve. The public has generally feared the direct assurance of some form of retail CBDC, or central bank digital currency, due to the surveillance concerns and currency seizure from a centralized issuer, but fewer realize both the level of financial surveillance, although imposed by banks, Never mind the ability for these trusted third parties to censor, blacklist, and even expose retail to their counterparty risk. All all of these actions are made increasingly possible via the digitization of the currency, with a encroaching reliance on centralized payment rails. But up to but up hold on, but up until next month or today, the communication network uh for interbank asset trades. Uh, ha- let's read that over because I am going numb. Hold on. Encroaching reliance on the centralized payment rails, but up until next month, the communications network for interbank asset trades has remained loosely and slow. FedNow slated to launch today services multiple purposes, but perhaps none as important as creating a much more efficient lever for the Fed to have 365 to uh, they did this wrong 24/7 365 control on overnight banking rates such as SOFR. I don't know what that means, but well, hold on. Let's find out what that means. Let's not just go over that. Secured overnight financing rate data. So basically, like getting your check your check on. Why y'all telling me this? But yeah, it's basically like it's getting your check direct deposited to you. Basically, that's all that is. So effectively setting the cost of borrowing short-term liquidity between fraction 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 hold on, I'm saying this wrong. Fraction fractionalized private bank attempting to meet their depositors' withdrawals. So basically having the money in there just as much as we pull it out. So having enough money in the bank or to, cash app somebody, whatever, or fed down somebody some money, making sure that the money's there so those transactions can happen. You have probably heard the phrase reverse repo once or twice. I've never heard it. Let's see what that means as well. Let's see what reverse repo means. Uh, what does reverse repo do? So, a reverse repurchase agreement, or RRP, for a reverse repo. Uh, reverse reverse repo refers to the seller side of a repurchase agreement or repo. The party executing the reverse repo sells assets to the other party while agreeing to buy them back at a slightly higher price. So that's what reverse repo is. So, reverse repo. But the underlying mechanic is often misunderstood. The repo stands for a repurchasing agreement, essentially a contract between two entities in which Bank A, with excess dollar liquidity, agrees to lend cash to Bank B with overnight liquidity needs via a short term loan. All right, I need to spell this word out because I have no idea collectivize. No, that's not collectivize. Collateralize. That's what it is. Collateralized by Bank B's assets such as USTs. Well, let's see what UST stands for as well, so I'm not just out here in the dark along with y'all. Underground storage tanks, US EPA, underground storage tanks. I guess that's what it is. Underground storage tank cleanup fund provides a means for petroleum UST owners. I don't think that's that's for. How about I take this? Need, Digital Transfer Solutions Company, UTS. So, what is a full form of UTS? UTS is an abbreviation for the United States Treasury. Oh, I didn't know that. United States Treasury, okay. The federal government division that manages U.S. finances. UST is commonly used to reference debt that is issued by the United States. All right, so now I know what that is now because I was slightly in the dark about what the hell UST was when I read it the first time. But now that we know, let's keep going. Assets such as the United States Treasuries, with the condition that Bank B will repurchase their securities, usually the next morning overnight, plus a percentage based fee that Bank A gets to keep. A reverse repo is essentially the same behavior, exempt that Bank A is bond rich, cash poor, and thus asking Bank B for dollar denominated liquidity. This exact scenario uh, came to this, and thus where am I at? Oh, I wasn't even there yet. This exact scenario came to fruition within the recent regional bank failures in the U.S. So if you guys don't remember that, all what it was that bank over in Silicon Valley Bank. They went under. Signature went under. It was another one, Credit Suisse over in London. They went under. And I forgot the other one. I just talked about that one, I believe, a week or two ago. But that one went under as well. So, and the Fed created new mechanisms to backstop the liquidity needs of the depositors. In the case of the ever-growing reverse repo market, Bank B is routinely the largest American bank, and sometimes even the Fed directly. FedNow is a digital lever, or lever as some people will say, made possible via the internet for complete centralized control on overnight rate or borrowing dollars, the necessary transferring of treasuries between banks, and thus the reshoring of uh, dollar denominated activity away from the euro dollar market and back to the United States within the scope of the Fed and the Treasury. So, another section of this private entity dollar assurance. So, this is basically what it's saying. Shortly after the fall of FTX last fall, the New York Fed launched their digital dollar pilot program featuring BNY Mellon, PNC Bank, Citibank, HSBC, MasterCard, TD Bank, uh, Truist, U- US Bank, and Wells Fargo, as as well as cooperation with SWIFT. So that's the system that we use is SWIFT. Well, that the United States, London, France, Germany, and somewhere else all use the SWIFT system. So notable within the quorum of too big to fail private sector banks is the inclusion of BNY Mellon, the largest U.S. bank, which holds treasuries for popular stablecoin USDC, and PNC Bank, the former 22.4% owner of BlackRock. We're talking about BlackRock here. If you guys read the actual article of this, you can read the section that I took out the BlackRock. I didn't feel like talking about that because BlackRock basically owns damn near everything. So there was no need for me to sit here and talk about them. If you guys can go to the article, reference it, and then do your search on who and what BlackRock is and does. So let's keep going. The world's largest asset manager, who only earlier this week filed with the SEC for approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF. The SEC has recently made waves by filing their notices against Binance and the publicly listed Coinbase for brokering sales of unregistered securities in the form of cryptocurrency tokens. So, if you guys remember what I was talking about earlier about the cryptocurrency market taking a big hit, that was why. All right, so let's continue. Um, I forgot where I was. Oh, here we go. While BUSD, the Binance issued USD stablecoin, was listed as being a unregistered security, USDC, the Circle issued USD stablecoin, second in market cap value behind only Tether, was left off the notices despite listing on both exchanges. Powell took the idea of stablecoins being important to the Fed and the greater US dollar system a step further. This morning, when he insinuated that not only are stablecoins not a security, they are money. We do see payment stablecoins as a form of money, and in all advanced economies, the ultimate source of credibility and money is the central bank. We believe it would be appropriate to have quite a robust federal role in what happens in stablecoins going forward. We went on. Hold on, before we even continue, let's check out what he said. We believe it would be appropriate to have quite a robust federal role in what happens in stablecoins going forward. So, sorry. So, what does this mean? It means this is what it means: a digital dollar for the American people. That's basically what it means. So you remember when I was like, oh yeah, they're probably looking at it, they're studying it because of this reason, right? He feels as though that it's important that they look at stable coins going forward. Why would he have to look at that? Like ask yourself that question. Why would they have to look at stable coins because, in a way, he said it is money. So, are they have to be studying the process of how stable coins are out there so they can then make their final decision on how they roll out with CBDCs. All right, let's keep going. He went on to further articulate his views on not needing a direct issued government dollar and in, instead rely on the private sector banks to continue their role of government debt purchasing via UST to create credit via dollars in retail accounts. We would not support accounts that the Federal Reserve by individuals. Such account would be managed through the banking system. In February, the SEC counts would be managed through the banking. Oh, I said that earlier. The SEC served a Wells notice to is it Paxos, the issuer of Binance USD, directly limiting Binance's ability to compete in the dollar creation industry. Via the signatures from the arms of regulation from the Fed, the Treasury, the SEC, and even the Department of Justice, the entities allowed to make digital dollars are being hand selected in front of our eyes. Now, pay attention now. To continue the cycle of needing to purchase government issued debt to create dollars, the US government has moved to direct policy, regulatory comment, and even disciplinary action on offshore dollar creation, changing the landscape for stablecoins and even the dollar itself forever. Mere moments before the founding of the Digital Federal Reserve. Did I not say that? Did I said it in a lot of words, but I said it. Basically what they just said. All right. Is this part even? I don't know if this one part is even appropriate to even talk about because it's not really talking about anything. Let me skim over it real fast so I can see if any of this is important. Let's see. All right. Well, let's take a look at this. How long I've been on? All right, I'm making good time. So, as American commercial banks begin to integrate digital assets such as Bitcoin and dollar derivatives such as stablecoins, the need to ensure the public that one sheet liquidity for speculative action on commodities exists creates a unique opportunity to tilt regulations in favor of the dollar. Basel 3 would require any bank wanting to hold Bitcoin other dollar to dollar denominated valuation of their investments This the hell is going on now? All right. All right, I'm back. See if I can see myself on my phone because I don't want to say, yeah, y'all see me. All right, cool. All right, everything's good now. So where was I? Regulatory create a unique opportunity to tilt regulation in favor of the dollar. Basel 3 would require any bank wanting to hold Bitcoin, other digital assets, or even gold would also be required to hold an equal part dollar to dollar denominated valuation of their investments. All right, I gotta refresh my page. All right, I'm here. I'm back. All right. Where was I? Where was I? Gold would also be required to hold an equal part dollar to dollar denominated valuation of their investment. The sudden comment on the adoption of this international capital requirement would force a net demand for dollars in the dollars in the U.S. banking system, despite a high monetary inflationary environment. For banks or registered investment vehicles looking to offset inflammatory efforts by purchasing alternative reserve assets such as Bitcoin, this regulation would mean that an increase in the valuation of Bitcoin in a dollar pair would also increase the need for dollar liabilities on their balance sheets. Want to run a responsible bank and meet capital requirements? Well, while also holding Bitcoin on your balance sheet? Question mark. Better be prepared to also hold a lot of dollars. The idea of the Bitcoin dollar is parallel to the petrodollar system, which was upheld from the gold window closing via the Nixon shock until only somewhat recently. By creating a monopoly on the ins and outs of oil to strictly dollars, the U.S. was essentially able to repeg their inflation dollar uh, to an ever demanded energy commodity and create a mass buyer of dollars. As the Fed and SEC circle the waters on both regional banks and private issuers of stablecoins, the downstream effort of Basel III will create permanent demand for dollars, even in a hyper Bitcoinization. I don't even know if that's a word. Environment. Powell mentioned the Fed doesn't have specifics on proposals for capital requirements at this time, but that there will be a future proposal that comes to the Fed board later this summer. So basically, stating people, just in layman's terms, because this is basically somebody who doesn't really pay attention to that market all that much, but basically stating they're adopting cryptocurrency into the Federal Reserve System. So not only will banks be able to purchase Bitcoin or Ethereum or some sort of cryptocurrency for their customers, or use that as a system of, well, the hard dollar that we have at this bank is at this much, but the Bitcoin that we have, which the Bitcoin dollar is at this much. So it's better if we borrow from the Bitcoin dollar so we can help replenish what we have here hard cash in this bank. Probably. I'm just talking shit right now. I'm just trying to sound smart. But anyway, uh, that that is the end of that portion of the random topics. But Titan implosion to be probed by international agencies. I got that from Independent, but let's talk about this real fast because they had us by the balls all last week talking about this whole Titan being the Titan being lost, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. Like, they had us on the oxygen countdown every day. They said, "Oh well, we don't know. They only had 90 some odd hours of oxygen," and then every day they're like, "Oh well, they might be down to 48 hours of oxygen now, and we don't know if they're still alive or dead." But you gotta remember this, y'all. They got while the Coast Guard, the U.S. Coast Guard, the Canadian Coast Guard, and I believe England got it in, maybe, I'm not sure. But as these two Coast Guards are looking for these people, you gotta remember it gets dark outside. And when you're at sea, it gets even darker because there are no lights on the ocean. There are no street lights on the ocean. So it gets dark. So you probably have people like, "Hey, let's wrap this up, people. Let's, I got a nice juicy steak waiting for me at the boat. I'm ready to party." And as they was going back to the boat so they can eat and party, they had a island party mixtape, or the island sounds mixtape going. They had basically, they hit the play button. They started going, "I can see clearly now, the rain is gone." Or, they flipped and went under the sea. But anyway, this is basically what the fuck's going on with this fuck shit, and it's just ridiculous.
Get to the deadly implosion of that submersible near the Titanic. Canadian and U.S. investigators are interviewing the crew of the ship that launched the sub. Tom Costello joins us now. Tom, the mother of the 19-year-old who died, is also speaking out.
Yeah, that's right. Christine Dogwood lost her husband, Shahzada, and her 19-year-old son, Suleiman. She says the teen wanted to go, so she gave up her seat on the sub. Meanwhile, salvage crews are now working to recover the remains of the sub, while in St. John's, Newfoundland, investigators have interviewed the crew of the mothership and recovered the ship's black box, the voyage data recorder. There are multiple investigations underway here. The Canadian Transportation Safety Board, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and the U.S. Coast Guard, which has launched a Marine Board of Investigation. That's the most serious level of investigation, which could lead to civil or criminal sanctions, depending on the findings.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by
Lester Holt. I remember watching him as a little kid with my grandmother. But anyway, so yeah, they had us. They had us by the balls last week. But meanwhile, as that was going on, the Hunter Biden shit was going on, and there was no coverage on that, really. Not only that, Jesus Christ, not only that, there was a coup going. Hold on. There was a so-called coup in Russia going on. There are some they have like a paramilitary agency that they would, have go and do certain missions that their military couldn't do, and it was time to either repurchase them or not. And then, shit happened last Saturday where the motherfuckers was coming towards Russia, but then they turned around and there was no more coup or whatever. And I thought, what if Blackwater did that to us? But then I was like, well, whatever, Can't have a whole bunch of highly skilled guys, being hired guns to do certain shit, and such as taking out certain political entities in other countries and shit like that. Bullshit like that. You know what I mean? Like all kinds of stupid shit.
Holy shit.
Just saying. Anyway, um, so let's get to this article. So this article comes from the Independent, and it said an international group of agencies is investigating what may have caused the Titan submersible to implode while carrying 5 people to the Titanic wreckage. And U.S. maritime officials say uh, their issue they'll issue a report aimed at improving the safety of submersibles worldwide. Excuse me. Investigators from the US, Canada, France, and United Kingdom are working closely together on the probe of the 18 June accident, or June 18th accident, they should say, said U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Moger. I don't know. Salvage operation from the seafloor are ongoing, and the accident site has been mapped. Coast Guard Chief Investigator Captain Jason uh, New Newber, I guess is how you say his name, said Sunday, adding that the final report will be issued to the International Maritime Organization. Now, check this out. A part of this article, which James Cameron was interviewed. I don't have that video, but you can go and look it up for yourself. James Cameron knew about the Titan submersible implosion days before it was found. This is why. Check this out. In a series of stunning interviews on Thursday, that was the last day, or 2 Thursdays ago. I'm sorry, not Thursday that just passed, but last Thursday. Uh, they basically was like, well, today's the last day. Like midnight of that day would have been their last day of oxygen, right? Check this out. James Cameron revealed he knew highly sensitive details about the Titan submersible search and rescue mission days before it was released publicly. The 68-year-old told ABC News that his contacts within the community had shared details of the mission with him, a reference to the small and close knit submersible manned underwater vehicle known as an MUV industry. Some people think of me as a Hollywood guy, but I make Avatar to make money to do explorations. That's his, I guess that's his hobby of what he likes to do, I guess. Cameron told the Daily Telegraph in 2018. In interviews with CNN and Reuters, Cameron told how he had learned of the implosion soon after it occurred. We got a confirmation within an hour that there had been a loud bang at the same time that the subcoms were lost. A loud bang on the hydrophone, lost a transponder, lost a loss of comms. I knew what happened. The sub imploded, he told Reuters. This is one thing he didn't tell you, in that he knew since Sunday, the Sunday that just passed, a week ago. He knew about it. The day that they went down was the day he also knew. So as we sitting here talking about, well, do they got air? Did they die? Are they lost? Or the conspiracy theorists. The conspiracy theorists said, well, y'all know that the one guy, you know what I mean, like he could be an ancestor. He could be an ancestor of one of the people that was on the Titanic. Because uh, if you don't know, there was this person that was on the Titanic, right? He was one of the richest people in the world, And then, you know what I'm saying, JP Morgan and them was supposed to be there, but they said, nah, I ain't trying to get on that boat. I'm gonna take another boat because I don't feel like going on that boat. So therefore, these fools think that they have some sort of inside scoop about how and why these people got got killed.
What the fuck was that?
Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, get out of here. Anyway, here's the latest. Debris and presumed human remains from the Titan submersible have been recovered and returned to land. The U.S. Coast Guard announced Wednesday night, nearly a week after an international search and rescue operation ended, and the vessel's 5 passengers were presumed dead. At a Canadian Coast Guard pier in St. John's, Newfoundland, on Wednesday, crew unloaded what appeared to be the Titan's 22-foot hull, crippled and twisted with exposed wires and cables. So this is exactly what it looked like. So this is what it looked like when they got it. This is what it looked like when they found it. This is what it looked like. Now, implosion confirmed debris field found near the Titanic wreckage. Reportedly, a landing frame and a rare cover from the Ocean Gate Titan submersible. So check this out. I was watching some show, and the person that was talking said, and I believe he didn't go into detail because I believe he couldn't talk about it in the on the podcast he was on. It was on YouTube. But what he was saying was, if you watch the movie Cape Fear, I believe in Cape Fear there's a, if it's not Cape Fear, it's another movie, but I forgot. Anyway, Cape Fear, we're gonna go with Cape Fear for now. So he basically stated that when an implosion occurs, and there's various videos out here of implosions, which I'll look up some right now. So as I speak, so basically what he was saying was that implosions occur. I mean, when implosions occur, it's very violent and it gets really hot. So what he was saying was this. So this is what a vacuum implosion looks like. I'm about to bring it up on screen. Mute that. But this is what an implosion looks like when it happens. Okay, so you got that tanker truck, right? Or that tanker car. This is what it looks like. I wish they get to the damn shit. Okay, so right about here. This is what it looks like. Now, that's a vacuumed implosion, right? Let's see what they have some sort of demonstration of what it looks like, what the submersible went through. Let's see. Hold on, wait a minute. Are they actually showing what they? Okay, that's not okay. I'm thinking that they showing video of what it actually looked like when it happened. Alright, let me find another video. Explosion, how it happened. 3D animation. So this is what they feel as though would happen. Was that everything buckled? Okay, let's just get to it. Boom. That's what it looked like. So still aluminum titanium, right? This is a submarine. This is a submersible made out of carbon fiber, which, is stronger than steel, stronger than titanium, lighter than steel and titanium, but still, it's not meant to go at those depths at all. It was what, 16,000 feet? Well, the Titanic is 16,000 feet below the surface, right?
The primary difference between a submersible and a submarine is that the submersible is launched from a mother vessel or home vessel.
Okay, none of that's important, but we want to see what it actually looked like again when it imploded. Are they going to show it again? So that's a debris field that they found. Let's show it again. So we all know it was manned with a PlayStation controller. That's wild as fuck to me. that is so wild. But it's a submersible. It's not really meant to go that far. Like, it'll probably, I would say, if they did, like if it did, I said 16,000. I think it's 1,600 feet, but still, they're still deep as fuck. But they found the debris field. They found human remains, and you know that's what happened to everybody. They got they basically got crushed. And like, think of yourself being in a can of corn, and it's weighted. It has weights in it, and someone just drops you into the ocean. At a point in time, that can of corn is going to implode. But, you know, so this is the latest. So, fell on Wednesday. Where did I stop at? I can't remember. Oh, okay. So here we go. Images from the Canadian press show what looked to be a piece of the hull siding and other debris being unloaded from the Horizon Arctic. A vessel that had deployed a remotely operated vehicle to search the ocean floor for the submersible. The debris will be taken to a U.S. port where the Marine Board of Investigation will do further analysis and testing. Um, United States medical professionals will conduct a formal analysis and presume human remains that have been carefully recovered within the the wreckage at the site of the incident. The Coast Guard said in a statement, and said it in a statement. So in a statement, Pelagic Research Service, I guess I said that right, which led the deep sea recovery effort, said it had successfully completed offshore operations and was in the process of demobilization, which marks the end of a mission and a return to the base of operations. The company would not confirm that the debris belonged to the Titan, saying that the investigation was continuing and referred questions to the U.S. Coast Guard. A crew has been working around the clock now for 10 days. though, through the physical and mental challenges of this operation, and are uh, anxious to finish the mission and return to their loved ones. Pelagic Research Service said in a statement. So basically, that's all that was said about the submersible being recovered, and if they recovered any bodies, and if any of them had any sort of if they had the remains of the people. But come on now, how you gonna say that they don't know if it's the submersible if you got this picture down here? I hope you can I hope y'all can see my 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 pointer, but this is the submersible right here. These are looks like shoes from people. This looks like a leg in a shoe. And then you got this right here. You got the hull. Or this could have been the back area of the submersible, the little pointed part. So come on now. Like, how y'all gonna say, well, we don't know what we have yet. We're not ready to ask or answer any questions, but this is what it is. Like, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out my face on the internet. But anyway, uh that's it. That's all I got for y'all tonight. I'm glad I did this. We had some issues, but we worked through them, and god damn it, we made it to the end. So, with that being said, let's do a good but short summary of today's show. So, I gave you guys an explanation of what the hell happened to me last night and why I cut the string and all of that good stuff. So it's fixed, sort of. And hopefully next week I don't go through any of these issues. I have to find out what's going on with restring with my feed being dropped from restream, as well as I need to figure out what's going on with this audio. But other than that, I talked about Ice Cube and how he's going on a tour to podcast. He wants to talk about the big three and what it all entails. His first appearance, which I didn't get into earlier, his first appearance is on Joe Rogan's Experience on Spotify. That's Joe Rogan's podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience. So go and check that out. I hope it's good. I'm gonna be watching it tonight. So hopefully it's good. Probably 3 to 4 hours. So I'm ready to see what the hell he has to say. Also, with this whole audio recordings being found of what Trump was talking about, and then him being indicted, and this also coexisting with it, it's like it's just a bunch of bullshit to me. It's a nothing burger. He's gonna win all of these cases that he has against him, so we'll probably see him as president next year. So, let's see to it that he does, so we can get America cracking again. hold on. But anyway, also, the FedNow is here, which means CBDC is on its way, and hopefully, that's not the case. But FedNow is here. It dropped July 1st, so I'm pretty sure you can go on to any app store and find it. And I guess that's it. One last thing. The whole submersible thing. I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad that they found, I guess, what it seems to be the hull of the submersible. So hopefully they'll have some answers within the next couple weeks about what they feel as though what happened. But we already know what happened. The submersible wasn't big enough. I'm sorry. It wasn't adequate enough to be at those depths. So it imploded. You know, the oxygen was lost. It was imploded. Some people say that the submersible only had what 6 hours or something like that of oxygen really in it. So they went. It takes 2 hours to drop down and another 2 to come up, which means they probably would have been doing like little like scanning around like the wreckage and all of that. Probably would have took them like an hour or so to do that, and then they would have popped themselves back up if it was adequate enough to be at those depths, but it wasn't. So all we have is what the was it the Coast Guard, the U.S. Coast Guard, whatever answers they have for us within the next couple of weeks, if not a month or so from now. But everybody, that is today's show. Let's get into some promotions. All right, people. So, if you are following my voice, I need for you to go ahead and subscribe to this here channel if you haven't already done so, because, hey, why not? You ain't doing shit. Come on now, you ain't doing. Anyway, but also, if you could, go to the description box and go to the description box and go to the Rumble link. If you haven't already downloaded Rumble, please download Rumble. Then go to this here link and follow me. I have 10 followers over there. I want to get to at least as many followers over there that I have over here. I have 136. I would love for both my YouTube channel and my Rumble channel to grow together. All right, so please go right on over there. Do yourself a favor. I have Rumble for the simple fact that if a video gets taken down over here, I can always upload it over at Rumble. Like it's no biggie to me. All right, but also it's for when I start having an audience come in, and when I say hit the link, all that blah blah blah, call in. It's for them as well. It's for y'all. I don't want to stifle any of y'all's freedom of speech because YouTube will if we talk about certain things. So, you know, if things start getting a little spicy and dicey over here, I can drop this here feed. We can go right over, or we can continue on Rumble because I would like to simultaneously cast from not only here on YouTube but to Rumble as well. Also, if you could please, although I do have set days for both of my shows that I usually do, one of my shows is in hiatus right now, so I'm still doing the podcast on either Friday or Saturday. I was trying to do this show yesterday, but something happened. I got it fixed, but I still need to fix some more stuff. So, with that also being said, please do yourself a favor. If you don't follow me over here, please do so. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, all. Also, go to the description box, follow me on my social medias because I also let you guys know what day and what day and what times I'm coming on. So on here, so make sure you guys follow me on my social medias. If not, just go to my community section here. I post the same stuff from my social medias that I do. I post the same stuff from my social medias over here on my community page. So pay attention to that as well. I can't wait till I can stop talking. If you ever want to come up and talk to me, you can. You can always just hit the link that's pinned in the live chat, or you can call the number, the channel number, 302-283-9791. Once again, that is 302-283-9791. Now, if you're calling out of country, I have no idea how you do that. I guess if you're calling out of state, just dial 1 before the number, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, if you ever do any of those two things, there are some rules. The first two really are for the link, which is rule number 1: you must be on camera at all times. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. But if you don't want to be on camera to the public, that is fine. Please let me know back here in the private chat. Once you get back here, leave your name and your answer. I just need yes or no. that you do or you don't want to be on camera to the public, and I'll let that happen. But just let me know so I can better accommodate you, because I don't want to bring you up. You're like, I didn't want to be on camera. It's like, well, your answer should have been no. Anyway, but the last rule is for both the number and the length. Please silence all background noise. Please go to a nice secluded spot somewhere, or tell everybody to be quiet. Turn me off if you got me on your TV, tablet, or anywhere else. Please be quiet. Please have your background quiet. All right. Anyway, the only last thing that I have is this. Please like this video, subscribe if you are new here. Hit that bell icon also so you can know when I upload or when I go live. I usually only go live, but if I have to upload a video, hey, just if you hit the bell, you'll get the notifications, or will you? Because YouTube has a thing where they don't like sending people's notifications out. I guess it's on well, if you like this, I think when you like the videos, not only does that get shared to other people, they get notifications, but then it shows me in the algorithm as well. So please like this video, subscribe if you're new here, hit that bell icon to all, and please share this, get the word out, share this to your respective social medias, share this to your friends, your family, your co-workers you fuck with, even the ones you don't fuck with. Share my channel to them, because they won't be disappointed. The last thing that I really have is some words of wisdom. People, please focus on getting to the money, because money makes the world go around. Because if you don't, you're going to have CBDCs to look forward to. Anyway, make sure you drink more water before that gets synthesized into something other than what we know it to be. But drink that H2O is for health purposes. Please mind your own business. That's for your mental health. Don't be in everybody's business. And also, if you don't believe a goddamn word I said to you guys tonight, hey, fuck y'all. It's like, nah, I'm playing. But if you don't believe anything that I said to you guys tonight, just do your own research. It helps you out in the long run. I've been Marcus. This has been Marcus Speaks Live. I thank y'all for watching, and I'll check you guys out next week. Peace out, y'all, and have a good holiday.